have this painting that I just finished, and it was an upcycle. My mom had these 2 frames that are a pair. They are different sizes that were black, and they had different artwork in them, and I popped the panels out, pulled off the artwork, and then coated them with a nice like textured gesso. The first piece, I'm really thrilled with how it turned out just now, but since the frames are more rustic, this one kind of popped. So luckily, during my studio cleaning and organizing that I talked about in my last video, I found a tube of E6000 that I didn't remember I had. What did I buy that for? I just remember the other day like why I bought that. Oh, that's what it was. I have these like panel paintings I made that are on like a thin piece of wood, and then I adhered them to a larger cradled wood panel, so they were like a substantial final painting that could hang on the wall and not just like a thin piece of wood. Jake got me a clamp. Okay. Awesome. So that's clamped. You can see these are quite rustic, like they're meant to look, I mean, I think they're meant to look old. I don't think they're actually old, but they have like some cracking here, but it's okay. It's supposed to be there. But here is the final painting. Hi, Bubba. Since I've been vlogging again, I think Bogey thinks I'm like permanently on the phone or something. It's funny. How you doing? I don't think this is safe for puppies though. I'll show you. I'll show you the other frame. It's a larger size and it's a square instead of a landscape. The panel paintings I was talking about, I already had made 3 of them that sold, but I just this week made 3 more, and they look like this. They are on quite a thin wood panel, so I mounted these to like a more substantial cradled wood panel with a nice depth that I painted, and then the E6000 was key for those because it's really strong. We've got the studio mascot with us in here, wearing his handsome new collar. Huh? What do you see out here? It's Monday now. My friend is with me as per usual. It is MLK Day, so not really a full work day or anything, but I have to admit today feels very similar to our like normal work week. Bogey and I got up and ran today. We are continuing our new running adventure together. And I have been thinking it's interesting because, you know, when you set like a fitness goal for yourself or you try something new, it's easy to fall out of the habit. But with a dog, like he benefits so much from exercise. It helps him be a lot less restless and he doesn't like get into trouble and chew anything. So this is the first time I've had a fitness goal that's like dependent on someone else. And I think it's really gonna help us stick to it because he just absolutely loves being out there running, and he comes back and he's so content and just sleeps with me. And I actually really benefit throughout my workday because he's just good. So I don't really foresee it like not continuing, which is a nice feeling. And I have to say, we took Saturday and Sunday off from our running just because it's new for him. He's still young. I don't want him to like get overexerted. And I also think it's important for a dog because they love routine so much to like change it up with them so they're not like nervous or anxious when you do change the routine. So we didn't run for 2 days. We just did walks, and I feel the difference so much in my body today. I feel really good. Jake and I actually went last night to play trivia with some friends. It was at a meadery. I don't drink too often, but we got a flight to try all the different kinds because they were quite creative in different flavors. I realized just now sitting here, I'm like, oh, I woke up and felt fine and worked out and I don't feel hungover, which is great. We do always drink Element after drinking, so that always helps. I don't know if that was the only thing that did it, but feeling good. Anyway, I'll show you what I've been working on. I was saying that today feels kind of like a normal work day. Like we came into the studio and we're just doing our thing, but I'm not like doing email today or like doing client projects or shipping orders really, especially with like post offices closed. So I have just been playing in my sketchbook. This is a practice I have really developed in 2024. I filled my first one of these sketchbooks so fast. It really influenced a lot of my artwork and collections I created and originals. So I'm now like almost halfway through this next one. I'm going to link this sketchbook. It's called Handbook Journal Co., but I think they're owned by Speedball because the packaging has both of them on it. It was my first ever trip to Jerry's Artarama, so it was quite the splurge, and I was like, oh, I really hope this sketchbook is worth it. And I have to say, it is. I really don't believe that you need to invest in crazy art supplies. I work with all different price points, things from Michael's, things from higher end art stores, cheap brushes, fine brushes. That is not something I think you need to create great art, but it does help when this is your career to think like, okay, let me invest in something good. And the quality of this paper, the thickness of it, the texture is just chef's kiss. You can tell I'm on my second coffee. I'm very chatty. So anyway, I have been really working a lot in my sketchbook. I have a really good practice, and I'm actually thinking about doing a little series on my Instagram and shorts that's like 12 days of sketching or 30 days of sketching. And I just filmed 2 different spreads, so those will be 2 different videos. I first made this prickly pear cactus painting, which was inspired by a photo I took of a cactus at the Desert Botanical Garden. I have photographed this same cactus there like many times over. It's right by the entrance. I have used it as a reference for many paintings previously. I basically take like all my reference photos on my phone and then I re-access them later. So this photo was from September of 2023. I love the iPhoto feature now where you can search like cactus or desert botanical garden, like a location or a subject, and then you automatically have a reference photo. And I did the same thing with this piece. I typed in Lily for my reference. The fun thing with the sketchbook is sometimes I really have a clear idea of what I want to paint, and sometimes I'm like, okay, I need something to jumpstart me. So I'll even ask Jake, like, what should I paint? Like one time he told me like paint a rocket ship, so I made this like groovy 70s rocket ship painting. And today I looked over at my shelf over here, and I had this little P up here as decor. And I was like, okay, let me trace that in my sketchbook and then turn it into something. So I made this cloudy lily painting. This is good for me to explore new subjects. I will say that like cacti and desert botanicals are like pieces I can paint like from memory. I don't even need reference photos, but when it comes to florals, I'm trying to strengthen that muscle and be able to paint them from memory, but I'll usually use one of my reference photos as well. I also want to show you a couple things on this shelf. I have a lot of little treasures over here. I'll have to talk about them all one day, but one is one of my hand-painted ceramic ornaments that are still remaining from my holiday release. I took down all the holiday off my website, but since these aren't necessarily super Christmassy, I'm gonna leave them up a little bit longer. This is one that's still available. There were 2 that I really liked that I have hanging in my own spaces until they sell, and if they don't sell, they're the ones that I will keep. I didn't vlog about it, but this was the first year that I kiln fired my ceramics. I used to use acrylics previously because I didn't have access to a kiln, but I found a kiln where they have a public firing program. I'm going to continue firing my ceramics moving forward, and I'm creating some for a release in February. So the one other thing I wanted to show you on here was the sweetest little gift I got for Christmas from Jake's aunt and uncle. They weren't with us this year to celebrate, but they sent us our gifts, and this one is so cute. I'll show you, there's like a 2-part to it. This is like a blind bag collectible. I think she's called Baby Molly, and they're from Pop Mart. This one's called Molly the Painter, and she has a little palette, her smock, her beret, and even a little paintbrush that you can take out. I truly thought this was just the cutest thing ever when I unwrapped it, and it was in a blind bag, but somehow Jake's aunt like knew it was the painter one for me. My grandma was from Germany and collected Hummels. So when I was growing up, her home was filled with them, and she had one that was an artist with like blonde hair, and it really reminds me of that. So that made me happy. And it's actually a 2-part gift. I'll zoom in for you to see up here, but she also got me this little like lunch bag case that I plan to store paintbrushes in. She watches over all the sketchbooks, and believe it or not, this is not even the whole collection of them. There are so many. It's Tuesday now. Same spot as yesterday. Yesterday, Jake and I went to Jerry's Artarama, my fave place. I do also really love Blick, but ever since I went to Jerry's, I have another love. Now, I just filmed like a short version of this haul, but I'll give you the longer version. I needed cradled wood panels, which are my love, my favorite thing to paint on. Actually, as I'm looking around this space, I only have one like fabric canvas in here. I just love to paint on this for the sturdiness it gives me. I feel like I have a lot of control over my work without the canvas bouncing, and I really prefer when they're all wood. Some of them will have like a coated gessoed top, which I will use in a pinch, but I like the continuation of the wood. For these paintings in particular that I need these for, I'm not going to expose any of the raw wood, but a lot of times I will leave the wood showing, which is nice. I believe I already showed this painting in process. This is what I needed these wood panels for. In order to finalize these, I will paint these white just to get a good base for the color, and then I will paint on top. I'm still not sure if I'll do a solid color or if I'll also be kind of organic with the background. That is to be determined. I'm also going to seal this first side of the golf bag today. That's why she's up here. A few more things I picked up. I just got a couple round paint brushes from their Creative Mark line. I'm not positive. I want to say that that's like either their like student brand or maybe their in-house brand. They're definitely on the lower end of price points for the brushes at Jerry's. I really like them. I also have found that when I paint, I really like a long handle and the weight it gives. You wouldn't think it matters that much, but it does for me. So I get like a totally different feel for a shorter brush. And in fact, right here, I have one of their like flat brushes in size 6. Sorry, I keep looking in the viewfinder, not in the lens. On the note of brushes, I have really been wanting to clean my brushes better, and I was looking for something not so astringent chemically. So this is a special Speedball soap. This is a brush cleaner, preserver, conditioner for oils, acrylics, and watercolor paints, and it's supposed to leave a no greasy feel. And yeah, it has like no solvents, alcohol. So I thought it would be safer to use on my hands because I like to put a little bit in my palm and then clean the brush that way. And lastly, I already put this away, but I just got one singular paint pen, this red color. I already had 2 in here, but I realized the tips of these were getting, I know you can't see that, but they were getting really frayed and low on paint. So actually when I was making that other painting we just saw, I couldn't get as much like flow and control as I wanted. I appreciate at Jerry's, some of their paint pens are behind like lock and key, but all of these are just out, which I find nice that you can just grab one. So I actually just grabbed this as I was checking out. I wasn't planning to get it, but since it was so accessible and I knew I needed it, I grabbed it. Part of my studio cleaning organization for the new year was I went through and culled all of my paint pens. If they were dry, I threw them out. I really did not throw out that many, maybe like 6, but it was just enough that I could actually close this, because prior it was too full. I had some chunky ones in there. So it's very satisfying to me now that I can fully close her. I will scan my receipt later for my business expenses. I kind of have like a canvas stash going. There's this one that's open. I have five canvases and 3 wood panels. It's kind of funny, I was just saying I prefer not to use a fabric canvas, and there's 6 in here. I just happen to have a bunch because I got a good deal on them. This is actually from Jerry's too. But I never showed a haul of what I bought that day. We went with a couple friends of ours, and it's dog friendly, so we brought Bogey, and we had a little art supply shopping day, and then next door is a restaurant we ate at that also allows dogs, so it was really fun. This was on super sale. I think it might have been $8. It's 1.5 inch deep. That's like a absolute for me. Like, I have to have depth on my canvas. I just think it needs to be like museum profile, and it looks a lot nicer on the wall. When it's really thin, I just think it doesn't look as nice. So I've had this for quite a few months now, and I will either do like a very long panoramic landscape or like a very tall plant. TBD. Once again, this is a gallery profile. I like her. Speaking of the sale, like, I wouldn't normally get canvases at Michael's, but I got a really good deal on these. And once again, they have enough depth, and they are like the professional level. I don't like their other ones as much. That sounds snobby. I don't mean it to. I really believe you can have art supplies from all different price points. I have paints on my table right now that cost like $1, and I love them and they perform beautifully. And then I have really nice brushes or really nice canvases. But when it comes to like the substrate, like the canvas you're painting on or the material, I find that that does make a really big difference for me, because I need a certain texture or a certain weight. I do like the professional level 3 at Michael's. And a lot of their stuff is like for hobbies or for small projects, but if you're going to be, you know, selling your work, it's nice to have the quality. That's something important to me to share with my clients. All that being said, it's not the holiday anymore, bummer, but it's Tuesday. We ran this morning, so my buddy is asleep. We're feeling good. I actually haven't really decided how I'll start the day today. I do need to coat these. Maybe I'll start with that. Let's see. As soon as I said that, I came over here to look for my roller brush, and I can't find it. And this is the second time that's happened to me in the last few months. I have a bunch of the, what do you even call these? Like roller heads. That's really bizarre. That's now the second time I haven't been able to find my roller handle, and it's kind of a big object, you know? Like, how hard is it to find? All right, I guess I will not be coating these today because I truly cannot find that. I'll have to buy a handle. I get those like at Lowe's. They're actually harder to find at art supply stores, in my opinion. Quite odd. I just checked through my email quickly. What I really need to do today is pack a bunch of orders, but I think I'll do a little sketchbook session first, and then we will get into that. I'm just editing this vlog. Wow, my computer screen needs to be cleaned so badly. I wanted to close out the vlog. It's Saturday now. I uploaded last week on Sunday, so I'm trying to do the same this week. I think Sunday is a good upload day for me. I'm definitely wearing the same outfit I was at the start of this vlog, or the same set at least. This is a Free People Movement set that I actually got from Dick's Sporting Goods, super on sale online. I'll link it below. I haven't really been in the habit of linking anything, but I actually just looked to see if I still have like a platform for that, and I do. Kind of my rule of thumb lately is I really try to support small businesses whenever I can, but I do have some brands I like Free People. This necklace is Free People also. My parents gave me this for Christmas, but kind of my rule of thumb lately is if I'm buying from a big retailer, I want to try to get it on sale because it's not gonna affect them the same way it does a small business, and then that way I'm able to pay full price when I do shop small. I feel like that's kind of a little bit, at least in my mind, an ethical way to go about it. I really became a fan of Free People Movement because I signed up for this fun workout class they hosted in Nashville at the Country Music Hall of Fame. I found it because I really liked the fitness instructor, Aubrey Winters, who was teaching the class. I have followed her for a long time. And when you signed up for this event, you got like 4 pieces of Free People Movement clothing with your ticket, which was awesome. I ended up really liking the pieces and the fabrics and the performance. A lot of their stuff is like this brushed material. So anyway, in like December, I had seen this workout set with my mom in store at Dick's, and the pants are kind of like a harem pant. And lately I have just like not had the bandwidth for really tight leggings. I just want like looser pants. It's like way more comfortable for working, honestly. I had tried this on and it was full price at Dick's and I really liked it. And for some reason the other day I thought about it and I was like, oh, let me just look online and see if it's available. And they marked it down so much. So I'm gonna link it. And I saw it also comes in black. I like it enough. I would consider getting another color, but I've noticed I'm really reaching for more of the fun colors in my wardrobe lately, so I don't plan to add like any new black clothing. I actually just donated a couple pairs of black leggings, speaking of not wanting to wear leggings lately. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. It's been really fun to vlog this week. Jake and I were reminiscing about some of like the early days of my art business and like old memories. And I have some videos on my YouTube channel that are privated that are really old, and some are from like our road trips and stuff. And I went back and watched a lot of them. It really was cool to have like this time capsule of memories. It's been a really long time since I've gone back and watched those vlogs. I don't go back and watch many of them. It made me feel excited for the fact that I'm vlogging now because I know I'll enjoy the memories in the future. So I appreciate you watching. In the meantime, I'll see you guys on Instagram until my next one. Bye.